Often, the 20s and early 30s are thought to be the best time of one's life. Individuals in this age range are generally in good health, have minimum responsibilities, and able to explore opportunities and take chances in both their professional and private life. However, it is becoming increasingly clear that the young adults are not free of stress that come later in life. In fact, many people in this stage of life experience periods of anxiety during when they question their goals, plans, and even relationships. Similar to the more widely recognized midlife crisis, the quarter-life crisis is a period of uncertainty and questioning that typically occurs when people feel trapped, uninspired, and disillusioned during their mid-20s to early 30s. They may feel that they are being stuck in dead-end job, while all of their friends advance their careers or wonder why they cannot seem to take a romantic relationship last, and when all their other members of social groups are getting married and having children. Usually, this group of youth feel a sense of being trapped in some form of commitment, either in their personal or professional life. Then, there is also some kind of separation or loneliness, whether it is to move to a new city or living a romantic relationship. During this period of isolation, they reflect on where they are in their life and perhaps change in their plans before exploring new activities, social groups, or career opportunities and come out from the other side of the crisis. Are you also in part of the quarter life crisis period? Do you having stress over your financial insecurity, job search or career planning, or even living alone for the first time, navigating new relationships or making long-term personal or professional decisions? Well, you're certainly not alone, and I have a plan to share with you how you can navigate this quarter life crisis. For many young adults in their early 20s, balancing finances and a social life can be a juggling act. With student loan payments, rent, insurance, and more, it is not a surprise that many 20s sometimes push off savings and investing money because they don't know where to start or don't have the time for it. Finding that balance doesn't have to be hard or time-consuming. You just have to be smart about it. A few steps now can go a long way to ensure that you can be financially secure and prepared for unexpected expenses and still have fun along the way. Remember, time is money. It's always best to start while you are young. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Why Retire Early, where we share tips on how you can save more, budget better, and how to invest to build your wealth. We'll be sharing the asset steps we use to build our retirement pot so that you too can build one and pursue your love for life. For us, it is traveling. How about yours? Let me share with you how I help a young lady, Claudia, in her 20s to plan for her financial plan. Claudia is a young lady in her 20s. She wants to be a full-time freelance artist and does not want to worry about her future retirement. She wants to lead a carefree life where she does not need to be stressed over not making sufficient income as a freelance artist. She has no boyfriend at the moment and does not intend to settle down early. She likes to have her chance to further her art skills in overseas, say in 5 to 10 years' time, and would also love to explore staying overseas if opportunities arise. She is really anxious about her future as her graduation date draws near and needed a plan to feel more assured that her future is taken care by following a plan crafted for her. So what I did was a financial plan for Claudia so that she can gain better clarity and confidence in her financial journey. I divided Claudia's financial plan into a 4-step process. Step 1 is to have a preview of what Claudia's life stages are. Stage 2 is to allow Claudia to gain clarity about what she desires and not what her friends or parents' expectations are on her. In stage 3, I customized a treasure map for Claudia. There will be options available for her to choose. And in step 4, Claudia will choose her own option according to her appetite for risk and desired returns. Let's start from stage 1, where we understand what is Claudia's life stages are right now. As Claudia is still a uni student, her life stages in the next 3 to 5 years are simple. She wants to complete her education, her degree in arts by age 23 and starts to be financially stable by age 24. Financially stable would have meant that Claudia can set aside sufficient emergency fund, and she has generated sufficient income to create her own financial freedom plan and to cover her living expenses. Graduation should be a happy thing whereby Claudia looks forward to her next stage in life. So let's get planning her financial plan and making sure that she is feeling more certain about her financial future as well. And yes, we only live once, so do enjoy the ride. And yes, we only live once, so do enjoy the ride. Let's move on to Claudia's financial plan. First, there are some assumptions I have to make after speaking to Claudia. First is she has no debt upon graduation. Her parents are paying for her uni school fees. So lucky Claudia doesn't have to worry about paying back the student loan once she graduates. Second, she's not forming a family yet, as she has no steady boyfriend at this moment, nor have an intention to settle down immediately. As such, there is also no immediate need to set aside savings for marriage or buying a house. Lastly, she has been saving her pocket money since very young and has accumulated quite a sizable 30k savings pot. Let's move on to stage 3, where we help Claudia to build her treasure map. To recap, Claudia wants to be a full-time freelance artist and does not want to worry about her future retirement. She wants to lead a very carefree life where she does not need to be stressed over not making sufficient income as a freelance artist. Based on Claudia's lifestyle, we map out Claudia's living expenses. Let's take a look at what Claudia's expenses looks like. In terms of food, we have budgeted it at $700 per month, as Claudia actually loves to dine out quite often with her friends, and a minimum mobile phone of $100 per month, transport with occasionally Grab or taxis at $180 per month, and personal expenses like $200 per month. For insurance, for import protection, $120 per month. Notice that Claudia will need a minimum sustenance expenses of about $1,300 per month, as Claudia is still staying with her parents. She's not paying any housing mortgages, but she would like to do an in-kind contribution to assist her family in terms of living expenses, say about $300 per month. And she also buffer another recreational or over expenses of $200 per month. That brings a total budgeted expense of $1,800 per month. Let's do an overview of Claudia's financial plan. So first, understanding that Claudia's subsistence expenses, which is the minimum expenses she needs to have, is $1,300 per month. So based on her suggestion, instead of fully relying on the art income and feeling the stress about having to, get the art income to meet the minimum expenses, she could take up a part-time job whereby she can work about 4 days per week at a $12 hourly rate, 8 hours per day, and her part-time job probably will pay her about $1,650 per month gross, and her take-home net pay after deducting the mandatory contribution to her government retirement account, that will be about $1,300 per month. Next, her total budgeted expenses, including her in-kind contribution to her family, as well as to buffer any overrun expenses, in total was about $1,800 per month. So she now set the time about 3 days per week to concentrate on her freelance job. And her freelance job, she's targeting to bring in about 2 projects per week at $300 per project. And in a month, she will probably bring in another $1,850. So after catering the additional budgeted expenses, she will then put the excess freelance income into her financial freedom account contribution of $1,350 per month. Remember, Claudia has a 30k savings up to date. So what she's going to do is she will use most of this emergency fund to build her emergency fund of 6 months of $10,800, and the remaining of 20k she will then put in to her financial freedom job to build an investment account. So now with a plan, it is easier for Claudia to track her living expenses and focus on growing and investing her income. So now with a plan, it is easier for Claudia to track her living expenses and focus on growing and investing her income. Remember that Claudia wants to ensure that she will not be stressed over money, especially if she wants to take a break from her work or being a freelance artist. How can she support her livelihood? This is the financial plan that we have crafted for Claudia. First, she needs to deploy her money soldier, which is a startup capital of 20K and her monthly financial freedom account of 1350 per month into an investment vehicle, say that could generate 10% return, example the S&P 500 index. When this retirement pot grows into a sizable pot, she can then draw down by withdrawing 3% of the retirement pot, but continue to invest the sum in a more balanced portfolio that gives her a 6% weighted average return. Next, I'm going to review what are the financial amounts Claudia can look forward to at the different time horizons. These are the options for Claudia based on the financial plan that we've done for her. So her initial 20K investment capital plus 1350 per month of financial freedom account. If she invests in an investment pot that gives her 10% rate of return, in 10 years' time, she will be accumulating about 300K, and at 3% withdrawal rate, she'll be able to enjoy $9,000 per year. And if she continues to invest this for the rest until she lives on to 100 years old, she will still have about $6.7 million. But this is probably not what Claudia wants, because at $9,000 per year, it doesn't really meet her objective or not needing to worry about her livelihood, right? So the second option is like Claudia continue to invest this for about 20 years till the age of 45 years old. By then, she will be accumulating a retirement pot of $1 million, and at 3%, she will get about 30K per year. That sounds more logical, and also at 30K per year, she's able to probably cover her minimum sustenance expenses. And if she continues to invest even at 6% rate of return, she would be accumulating 12.8 million of retirement pot. So in a way, Claudia doesn't really need to be worried about her retirement, even as a freelance artist or when she feels that she wanted to stop becoming a freelance artist. So this is definitely a viable option for Claudia. And the third option is that she continue to work and invest her 20K and $1350 per month for 30 years. At the end of 30 years, at age 55, she will have accumulated about $3 million. And at 3% withdrawal rate, she will be able to fund about 90K per year of living expenses. So this is definitely something which is so comfortable that Claudia can even think about, not working as a freelance artist, but could even have the option to travel around the world and to explore a different art scene. And at the end of 100 years, imagine Claudia live to 100 years, if the sum will be accumulated at 6% return, she will have $22.1 million. Wow, that is definitely the power of compound returns, right? The last option for Claudia is, of course, she keeps on investing for 40 years. At age 65, she will have accumulated $8 million, 3% withdrawal rate at 240K per year. And if this carries on at 6% till the age of 100 years old, she will be a multi-millionaire at 34.7 million. So why did we cross out this option is we think that, it's definitely good to accumulate such a big total amount, but you never know when you'll be called back to heaven. So it's also good to start enjoying life as you start to accumulate a certain amount of money and really live your life purpose as you reach that stage. So The two viable options that we will be recommending to Claudia is at age 45, she can consider semi-retirement and draw down about 30K per year to meet her subsistence expenses. Or she can have the option to continue to invest, and age 55, Claudia is considered financially free in a way that her income or her withdrawal portfolio can more than meet her living expenses, and she doesn't even need to do a freelance artist work in order to make sure her livelihood is being taken care of. What is really interesting for Claudia is through this financial plan, she realized that even if she's not a high-income earner like a lawyer, accountant, or a banker, she can also be financially independent just by taking care of her finances early part of her life and to understand how to redeploy her money soldier. Yes, in fact, financial plan is really a journey, and the first step is always to start with a plan. And since financial plan is actually a journey, we do need to understand there is actually no shortcut in this journey. We can't be expecting Claudia to, since after graduation and within 3 years, she is totally financial free. So she can be, maybe her art is able to take off, she can sell NFT and earn millions of dollars, and of course in this way, she can straight away be a financially free artist, right? But however, if Claudia just wanted a plan whereby she can be assured that even if she doesn't hit the jackpot, her arts doesn't hit the jackpot, that she can sell millions of dollars in terms of NFT, she still has a plan whereby she can comfortably retire as a normal artist. So in order to do that, right, it's also important for Claudia to understand there are actually 7 levels of financial freedom, and she takes concrete steps in each of the steps. She will be able to attain her goals one day and be financially free. There are 7 levels of financial freedom. In stage 1, you figure out where you are financially and where you want to go. Level 2, you move out of your parents' place and can cover your expenses. Level 3, you are saving some money and are no longer living paycheck to paycheck. Level 4, you have no bad debt and got about 6 months worth of expenses saved up for emergency. So what Claudia did was, she was trying to get prepared during her uni days to be financially prepared to cover level 1 to level 4 in 2 to 3 years' time after her graduation. And thereafter, she will focus on level 5, whereby she can at least have 2 years worth of expenses saved up and can take a year off work. And in level 6, she can live off the income where her investment generates. That will be probably in around 20 to 30 years' time, whereby her startup capital and the 1,350 per month of financial freedom account allows her to meet her subsistence or full living expenses. And in level 7, money is no longer a concern. You have more than what you ever needed. They're probably in 30 to 40 years' time, where Claudia's investment account has generated such a sufficient amount that she doesn't even need to be a freelance artist. So what we have done for Claudia is to assure her that even if she's not the top 1% of artists that can create an NFT that sells millions of dollars, or because she's not a top-notch accountant, lawyers, or doctor, she is more than capable of creating her own financial freedom through very top process of creating step-by-step of how she can generate her income and put that back into an investment account. Every 1 million accumulated will allow Claudia to withdraw it at 3% or 30K per year to pay for her sustenance living expenses. Of course, it does not offer a luxury lifestyle, but it does offer options in life. If Claudia wants to focus full-time in her arts career, she can do it very confidently, knowing that she can always use the 30K to cover her sustenance living expenses while she markets her art and expands her market. In a nutshell, I would say if you are also in your 20s, set this goal to fast-track your financial success. First is to understand that you do need to set an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Second, make sure you have term insurance to cover the unexpected medical expenses, hospitalization, and invest the rest. And for savings rate, you do need to aim for about 50% savings rate. Of course, when you start out, it was good to start off with 10 to 20%, and slowly you ramp that up to 30, 40, and even 50%. And do start to invest early. Let the compounding interest work its magic over 20 to 30 years, and be quite amazed that you are actually really a multi-millionaire. So every plan leads to a timeline, and this is the timeline that we have done for Claudia. Step 1, to plan. Step 2, expense, budgeting. Step 3, income generating ideas. And step 4, track and monitor. One day, Claudia will find her soulmate, and there will be changes in her life plan again. Hence, while she has made plans in her 20s, we bet her plan will still require review and adjustment again. Another thing that we have reminded Claudia is, while money is meant to save and invest for the future, it is also meant to enjoy the present. It is true that Claudia can save every cent to be the multi-millionaire in 20-30 years' time. But as the journey may involve decades, it is also important that she still enjoys her present life and stays on course. This is why we advocate to set aside, say, 10 or 5 to 10% of her income as a play account, which she has a choice to spend on things that keep her happy in life. It can be traveling abroad with her friends, or to attend art exhibitions, or even going to her out for a good meal with her family. I've come to the end of my video, and I hope you have learned something today. If you have benefited from the video, please hit the like and subscribe button so that you can be notified once the next video is out. We will also appreciate if you can share our videos, and so that more friends can learn how to plan their financial journey. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.